Hello CP2 Online class and Dr. Abrahams. This is my learning styles video. So unlike the rest of the class's videos that I've watched so far, I actually took the learning styles measure test before I did the reading for the chapter. I did this because I found that if I know what the possible results of the test are, I'll decide which ones I want and then kind of alter my answers so that I get the results I want. And I didn't want to do that with this important test because I really wanted accurate results so that I knew myself as a teacher and as a learner, because I wasn't really totally sure where I fit in. So the results of the test were that I was a type 1 learner. So I immediately went to this book to find out what a type 1 learner was. And as soon as I opened the book, I decided that it was probably pretty accurate since the first question was why. I have to admit, why is a question that I'm always asking, probably to the point where it's annoying to people. But I always really want to know why people are doing what they're doing or thinking what they're thinking. And in learning, I want to always know why I'm learning, what I can do with it, and why it actually applies to my life. I've really found that if I don't have an answer to the why, then I have a hard time taking a lesson seriously because I just don't see what I can do with it. The next thing that really jumped out to me would have to be dialogue. I really love learning from listening and talking to other people as opposed to reading. I think that you can learn a lot more about people from listening, and because you can read their expressions and their body language and the tone of their voice, and I don't think you get that in reading a book. The third thing that stuck out to me, and the one that I think I probably value the most, would be the ability to clue into people and their needs. It's always really important to me to understand what people are thinking and feeling and to do what I can to help them. I really enjoy figuring people out and understanding what they think and why they think that way, and it's something I definitely try to do with everyone I meet. The one point of a type 1 learner that I'd have to say I disagree with is the emphasis on group work. I don't like group work. I think that the idea behind it is really great and that you can learn a lot from other people, and bouncing ideas off of other people is something I really enjoy. But the actual group work setting I don't like. I think that if you're not in a group with a perfect blend of people, that it just doesn't work, and one person always ends up doing more work and ends up unhappy, and the whole point of group work is that you're working with other people, and I just don't think it works. And I am even more opposed to teacher-selected groups. I will absolutely never do those. You know who you work well with, and if someone else picks it for you, then it's even more of a mess. I think many aspects of my learning style will be extremely helpful as a teacher, especially the people skills aspect. Not only will I be available to students and someone that they can turn to and I'll be able to work well with them, but I think it'll also help with coworkers, such as fellow teachers, and especially parents. I always want to be accessible to parents and someone that they see is really helping their children rather than getting in the way. The building trust through personal interactions aspect will also be extremely helpful, especially as a music teacher. You can't really make great music with someone or a group of people that you don't trust. So I hope to have the personality where I help my students to trust me and to be willing to open up and to make beautiful music because they can bear their soul through music. That's not something you can do with people that you don't trust. I think it's safe to say my biggest challenge as a teacher will be working with type 3 learners, because I'm not a hands-on person, at least right away. I like to know exactly what's behind it and to think about it and to do everything I can to know about it before I go and jump in and do something. So I think that the students who like to get right to things and just to try it, that's something I'm going to have to work on. I think that my overall learning styles measure will be extremely helpful as a teacher because I can relate so well to people and really understand their needs. So I think that it'll make me very adaptable as a teacher to every learning style, even if it's not the one that I'm the strongest in or the most drawn to. After reading all of the other learning style types, I think that one would be the one that I would have chosen for myself had I actually read everything before I did the learning styles measure test. The test overall was extremely helpful because it gave me answers to a lot of my personal why questions, so I feel like I know myself a lot better. I think the results of the test were extremely accurate for me, and I'm very happy with them because I think it describes me perfectly. I also think that I'll be able to use what I know to really meet everyone's learning needs and to really have a very successful classroom in the future. I really find the whole concept of learning styles really, really interesting and helpful, so I'm glad that I did this.